Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you another Dark Tidings deck reveal thingy. Okay, which side? So the QR code side, the side that says that's going to say enhanced, is the side that has the words, the name, I think. Yep, great. Okay, so we have Il Tasatum O Blight Eaton, the sixth. Cool. I like the turtles. I'm going to say Star Alliance, Sanctum, and Unfathomable. Hey, I got Unfathomable. This is my first Unfathomable deck, so yay me. Um, and then Sarian and Logos, so not what I thought there. Okay, but I am excited. I am really excited about the Logos in this set. There's some ridiculous synergies possible between Logos and Unfathomable, and I just like dinos in general. Fishies, dinos, and robots. And Nitro Cold Brew. Oh yeah. Alright, let's see what we get here. I'm looking for just acceleration of whatever the game plan is in the Logos. Disrupting my opponents with the Unfathomable. Cool stuff there. And some board and amber control in Sarian. Ooh, Ruins of Arcanis. This is an artifact. It's a treasure. It has a bonus amber on it, and when you play it, you put 4 amber on it, and you archive a card. And after a player plays their 6th card in a turn, if Ruins of Arcanis is ready, you move each amber from it to that player's pool. So it can't happen on the turn that you play it unless you have something that lets it come and play ready. But that seems cool. And there are a few things in Unfathomable that exhaust artifacts. So it's possible that your opponent could know you're getting ready for a combo turn and just exhaust it. So hey, you can do your turn, but you aren't going to get that. So that seems cool. Okay, Binary Moray is a 5-power AI beast. It says after you raise the tide, ready it, and after your opponent raises the tide, you exhaust it. And after it reaps, you archive a card. So it's possible to get to use it twice on a turn, or the turn you play it. It's also possible for your opponent to mess with it. So so far in play though, it's not, the tide isn't getting raised every turn. So because you get a lot of chains that way. But yeah, seems interesting. Mind Bullets is an action. When you play it, you deal 1 damage to each creature for each card you have played this turn, including this one. Seems cool. Final Analysis. It's an action. When you play it, you destroy each creature, and each player draws a card for each creature they controlled that was destroyed this way. So that could actually set up, but that destroys everything, but that could set up a really good Ruins of Arcanis turn. That seems great. Information Exchange is an action. When you play it, you steal an amber, and if your opponent stole amber from you on their previous turn, you steal 2 instead. That's nice to see. Ooh, Old Egad is a 1-power cyborg with 2 armor. When it's destroyed, you ward each of its neighbors. Yeah, that seems cool. And that could... Oh, interesting. I mean, interesting, because wards won't trigger Final Analysis. Um, won't work with Ray. If it pops the ward instead of destroying the creature, you're not going to draw the card. So interesting interplay there. Another Old Egad, cool. And then Science is an action. When you play it for the remainder of the turn, after you play another action card, gain an amber. Doing that into Final Analysis seems like it could be pretty good. Submersive Principle, it's an action. When you play it, each player loses 1 amber, but if the tide is high, then each player loses half their amber instead, rounding down the loss. So it's like Effervescent Principle, but it only has that effect if the tide is high. and it doesn't give you a chain. Of course, if you raise the tide, you're going to get 3 chains. So that's an interesting trade-off. And there's 2 of those. Okay. Wow. A 3. Wow. I think that's too much. I think that's too much. All right. What? Okay. Am I going to have to call Dave? No. Only 4, but wow, that's a lot. Potentially reasonable. Oh, the interesting thing is, if the tide is low and you're playing this with science, then it balances out. So that's pretty interesting. Huh. That's a weird setup. Okay. Let's see the dinos. Hestetos is a 5-power dinosaur soldier with 1 armor, and before fight you may exalt it. If you do, deal 1 damage to the creature it fights for each amber on friendly Hestetos. So I think we're gonna get some amount. I don't know what the spread is, what the min and max are. If it's like 3 to 7, like Plague Rats, but I'm sure we'll get more. And yeah, it's an interesting card. 2 of them, 3, 4. Okay, just 4. So, but 4 is a very interesting number here, and that means you, uh, yeah, it essentially gives it like pretty big assault, depending on how much amber is captured on them. And so if we have capture effects, then that could be good, but that burns 4 cards. I'm thinking this is going to end up being an interesting but not necessarily good deck, but that's okay. We need some of those. Ooh, Bestiary Urso. Wow, so it's like a Dino Bear, I guess. It's a 5-power dinosaur with 1 armor. When you play it or when it reaps, you may unstun a creature. Ooh, that's cool. Oh my goodness, like Gladiodontus. So if you play the Gladiodontus, it's a 15-power mutant that enters play stunned. It only deals 5 when it's fighting. But if it has Fight Reap, if this is the first time it's been used this turn, ready and enrage it. So you could play it, and then like next time you play the Urso to unstun it, and then you get to use it, right? That's pretty cool. Senator Quintana is a 5-power dinosaur politician that says after a creature reaps, exalt it. Siren Horn is an upgrade with a bonus amber. It gives a creature before fight move an amber from this creature to the creature it fights. That could be interesting with the Raptors or with the Gladiodontus for sure. Sensor Philo is a 5-powered dinosaur politician that can't be dealt damage by creatures with amber on them. And then Decadence is an action that has play choose 1, either exalt, ready, and use a friendly creature, or move 1 amber from a creature to another creature. Yeah, interesting choice there. And Ostracize, so good. It's an action. When you play it, you lose an amber, and if you do, you purge a creature. This deck burns a lot of amber. Then we have Reach Advantage. It's an action with a bonus amber, and this one got a capture on it. And it has play if the tide is high, a friendly creature captures 3, otherwise raise the tide. All right. So that's one thing that raises the tide. We didn't get a lot of stuff that will raise the tide, but I think that's okay. This deck I don't think cares that much about whether the tide is raised. It does want to do combos. Okay, let's go into Unfathomable. So first off, we have Rust Miser. This is a 5-power beast. This one got a capture icon on it, and it has Reap, exhaust each enemy artifact. That is a strong effect. Exhaust each enemy artifact. Wow. Echo Pearl is an artifact with a bonus amber. Um, when you play it, or no, it's an item. It doesn't have a play effect. It has an Omni effect. Omni, destroy it, exhaust, stun, and enrage a creature, which means they're not going to be able to reap with that creature for a long time. Fuguru is a 1-power Aquan with poison, and it says that your opponent refills their hand to 1 less card during their draw card step. Nice hand control. Sleep with the Fishes is an action with a bonus amber that destroys each exhausted creature. Tamwa of the Glow is a 3-power Aquan with Reap, exhaust a creature, If the tide is high, draw a card for each exhausted enemy creature. Wow, that could draw a lot of cards. Flamegill Enforcer is a 6-power Aquan that says after your opponent raises the tide, enrage it, and it has action capture 3. Wow, that's a lot of capture. But if your opponent raises the tide, it gets enraged. Guilt by Netcaster gave us enhanced 2 captures. It's a 2-power Aquan, and it has Reap Exhaust a creature. Now the interesting thing, if you're using these, exhaust a creature Reap effects and then sleep with the fishes, you are going to destroy your own exhausted creatures. So it's worth noting that, but um, still potentially worth it. It seems like cool effects. Maelstrom is an action. When you play it, you put each creature on top of its owner's deck in a random order and then gain 2 chains. I feel like this would be nice if you have a lot of play effects and your opponent doesn't. I'm not that excited about it here. Rakuziel's Chant is an action with a bonus amber. When you play it, you exhaust a creature, but if the tide is high, you exhaust each creature instead. So yeah, if you do this and sleep with the fishes, a common and an uncommon, you have completely wiped the board. Crazy. Which, there are other cards that completely wipe the board, but they don't have amber pips on them, and they don't not give you chains or any sort of downside. Another Rakuziel's Chant. Wow, very interesting. Cool. I mean, it's a great effect. That's such a great effect. 3 Rakuziel. Now, see, that's strong. That is great. And then last one here, we have Seabringer Krakoa. It's a 7-power beast with taunt, and destroyed, raise the tide. On our reference card, we got tide, of course, and then ward, exalt, enrage, and stun. Yeah, makes sense given what we saw. And that's that. That is Iltacidum O Blight Eaton the Sixth. I think this deck probably doesn't have enough going for it, but let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think this deck doesn't have enough going for it to be good. It has a lot of ways to slow your opponent down, but if your opponent is just playing a lot of Amber or something like that, it's difficult to imagine this quite keeping up. But I'll have to check and see. I'm excited. I mean, the 3 Rakuziel's Chance seems very good. I'm excited about the Raptors. I don't know that I think they're good, but I'm excited about trying them out. And 4 essentially effervescent principles is bonkers. Um, yeah, that seems totally crazy. So we'll have to see how that works out. And I like that Ruins of Arcanus. It's pretty cool. So we'll see. And of course, as always, if you have a way to do it safely, I would encourage you to get out and forge some keys. And I've mentioned this before, but for people who are wondering, how did you get these early? It is because Canada has them, and I ordered some from Canada. So I'm getting most of my supply for my LGS on release weekend, but Canada Canada was there when I needed it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.